How you doing? Yeah, I think I'm recording. I'm recording now.
Yeah, you're recording.
So, what did you want to talk about today, Wendy?
I figured we could talk about whatever you want. Maybe the new Earth. What's going on with with nature and what's happening to the planet, and anything else we think about just chatting about.
Okay, that sounds good. I guess we can just dive into it then. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
You can start if you want. That's fine.
Okay, so I'll just start by saying that we're coming up to the point where we're going to be getting that wave soon. And when that wave comes, it's going to be because people have hit a precipice point where they're not taking it anymore. And they're going to end up with righteous anger. And that anger is going to be like a match going across a rough surface, and it's going to spark into the sun, the energy, and it's going to cause the wave. When a certain part of the percentage of the populace hit that righteous anger point of unjust of everything that's happened in our reality, our freedoms being taken from us, the child molestation, the Pizzagate, the taking down of humanity with the you-know-what, the lying of how many people have already passed away. Have you noticed how many help for hire signs are in all the stores now?
They're everywhere I go. I see. We need help. We're hiring everywhere. Every store I've been to, every restaurant. It's just crazy. And you got to think, well, the unemployment system is basically at an end, and we don't even know how many people were really on unemployment and whether if they've gotten another job or not. But it still doesn't change the fact that there is, even if you're on unemployment, there shouldn't be a big drop in the populace this much where everybody is needing some kind of help.
Well, our financial system has collapsed already. It's collapsed. You just can't keep pumping out money and think that it's not going to collapse your financial system. No, you can't do it. I mean, the political arena is a mess already, which that needs to go completely. I can't wait.
Yeah. And, I just get a little bit tired of hearing, you need to go buy gold, you need to go buy silver. Yeah, that's a great means to replace the fake system of money as it is. But the problem is, do people realize that we can make gold, we can make silver? There are means and machines to create these resources. They're not a rarity. It's not even like, yeah, we're going to use this cash to back it up because this is such a rarity and it's, so sought after that we need it. So we're going to use this to back it up, except the fact that blows it out of the water now, since we can create gold, silver, anything we want. We have the means of creating it.
Yeah, it's a fraudulent system also. Everything is fraudulent. To get you, it's the carrot dangling in front. Do this and try to get this, do all this, and we'll use this carrot to make you do all this.
Exactly. Just like how they're trying to use food and water against us now. Unfortunately, we do have these bodies and we do need to eat and drink to survive. I mean, yeah, it's just not right that they're trying to say, well, water's running out. Well, the truth is we're on a water planet. We're never going to run out of water. There's water underneath the earth. I mean, it's
stupid. It's beyond stupid. We're on a water world or crater, whatever, and we're going to run out of water now. What else?
Exactly.
What else?
It's true. And it's like, people need to start doing research and stop just listening to what everybody tells you. Yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Take everything in and go and look it up for yourself. It's not that hard to do. Maybe it is dug deep in some files. You do have to do a little research to find certain things because, of course, they want to cover up the truth. They don't want anyone to know what's really going on. They don't want anyone to know their agendas. But It's up to us to get out of that so we can understand what's going on, so we can raise above it and say we're not taking it anymore. this is not true.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, your head was a little bit cut off.
Yeah, I'm not using a stand. I'm just propping it up on some stuff.
Yeah, I'm on top of my gallon pitcher to water everything out here with a little phone thing on top of it.
Oh yeah, I'm just using some kind of. I think it's a like a pool plug and a broom.
Oh my.
Oh
Yeah,
well.
I bought three of those sticks, that the legs fold out or whatever, and you can put the phone on it, the sticks.
Yeah, the
They keep
tripod.
breaking. The tripods, and they keep breaking. I'm lucky if I have them for a week or two, and they keep breaking. It's like, I am
Wow.
not buying more of this stuff anymore. It's just cheap crap.
I was gonna say that's really cheap if they're all breaking. That's terrible.
The first one lasted me, I think, 3 or 4 days, and it broke all to hell. It's like the plastic piece on the bottom just broke, and now the phone, no. And then the next one, the plastic piece on the bottom broke again, and then
Oh
the
my.
last one, the whole thing just kind of fell apart. It's like, no, I'm
At
not
that
doing
point,
this anymore.
yeah, at that point there is no point.
If they
I
were
was
made out of metal and they had rubber on the bottom and the top or whatever, they would last forever. But because they're made out of cheesy plastic, they keep
exactly.
breaking.
Well, haven't you noticed everything is made out of plastic anymore, even though it's the worst thing for our environment?
Yes, yes. How
Everything.
does this make any sense? You're going to take the most expensive thing, crude oil, and you're going to make the cheapest products out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
How does that work?
With everything anymore. I mean, the reason they took all of our industry away in America is because they went ahead and started doing it in China because they get paid pennies a day. I mean, so you got to think, yeah, they're making it, they're getting paid pennies a day. The stuff they're making is worth only pennies, but when they come over here to sell it, it's now in the hundreds and thousands of dollars, depending on what you're buying. It's a way to make people poor and to make the elites rich and the
Because,
corporations rich.
yeah, well, you know who the lead are? The middleman. The middleman makes all the money and has done nothing to get that honeypot. And this
Right.
is the problem with all the schemes that are out here. You can get rich if you only do what I do. No, you're making them rich by buying into their bullshit plans. No, they're the middleman. They don't do anything. They sell you an idea. You pay them. They get rich. You're out of luck.
And then it's really sad because, you know, you've got all these people in other countries, like, for example, in Egypt, you know, they're hand making their stuff and they're selling it for very small minimal prices because they don't have the money like that. But then you've got big corporations going over there and offering them maybe a little bit more, if that, and getting it all their handmade stuff in bulk and then turning around and selling them for by the dollar plus here.
I think
And
that was called Pier 1 Imports, and they went
yeah,
under. They did it. They went to the Orient, picked things up for pennies on the dollar, and sold them for hundreds on the dollar. That's called the middleman. You do nothing,
and you
and
feel bad
you get the honeypot.
and you feel bad for the people that are literally taking their time and their life and everything to sit down and hand make these things. And you know, they're very unique because it's one of a kind. No matter how many you make, it's a one of a kind thing. You'll never get something like that again. It's like people have depreciated the value of things nowadays. They think, oh, well, the machines can do it. You know, we don't need people anymore. This is why they're trying to bring in robots and AI and technology because really the humans are nothing. We're not invaluable like we should be. We're devalued.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is why I'm going to swing it back. Let's talk about the new Earth.
I was that too. Go ahead and get started.
Okay, so
Let's-
so basically, what I'm seeing is if we go to the new Earth, the actual new Earth, those are going to be people who can go into the 5D, which you know this, and they'll transcend into the 5D. They'll just be gone. not here, and just go to the 5D, the new Earth. Then there will be all the other ones. Of course, some of them will have to be collected and taken to different places, even to inner Earth or what have you. And then the extremely dark negative beings, well, they'll be left here for the wave. Some of the people will stay here that are almost in 5D already, because it's here. They're in 5D here, because they'll be able to handle the wave and help this place, or help Gaia.
I wanted to mention, I had a dream about a week ago, and I had just fallen asleep. It was almost like I was still conscious, but I wasn't here in my body. Anyway, they showed me the new Earth, and it was beautiful, and it looked wonderful, and I'm not sure who asked me, if it was my higher self or if there was somebody else there, but all I heard was, do you want to come here? Do you want to live here? And I was looking at it, and it looked completely natural. It didn't look like anything was built on there. It looked like Gaia would look without any man-made constructions. It was gorgeous. And I just said, I would love to go there. And for some reason, I was like, but. And as soon as I said but, I just woke up out of my sleep. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was the new Earth. It's there now. We can go there now. I mean, it's there. It's just not in this dimension. And it got me thinking, it's like, if Gaia has been transcending or is transcended, and say she's a consciousness like you and me and everybody else, we are also, we can be separate from ourselves, like how Mom talks about the shards and how we have different timelines we live in. Well, what I was thinking was, who's to say she's not already there? She is, which is why here she's probably dying. Technically, this planet is dying, which is why it's now showing in the trees where they're burning up to death, the plants which are dying, the trees which are getting the growths and the hormones, and it's a complete imbalance, and it's because everything here that's living is now transcending there. Most of its consciousness, I would say, is already there. And this place, in my opinion, and I don't like to do timelines or anything like this because nobody knows, it's still on an individual basis as humans and when we're going to decide to go. But this place, this Gaia, our Earth, does not seem like it's going to be here for much longer. And I'm sure everybody can feel it. Everybody can see it. If you're awake, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like the love. I feel so much love for Gaia because I feel so bad that she has to go through this and that we put her through this because we've not stood up. Everything that's happened, we have not stood up enough. We have not woken up enough to know what's going on and to know what's right from what's wrong. We should know that when we're born. We should know what's right from what's wrong. But unfortunately, I might think that way, but other people might not. There are, like I said, there are NPCs out here too that are running off programs, and they could also be learning from us as pure consciousness. So what monkey see, monkey do, if you've ever heard that before.
Oh, yeah.
So you always need to try and stay your highest and do your best, even if it gets you down sometimes and you get dragged down by the negativity, because that's what it wants. It doesn't want anyone to go anywhere. It says, if I can't go, then you can't go. We need to break out of our habits, our beliefs. We need to just wake up and just feel the love, help Gaia, help ourselves. We need to get out of this because I'm telling you, it's going to be hell on earth soon if we don't do something now.
Well, I think it's in some places it's already that. I do know here I put out all my energy. I hurt my back the other day. I was riding my bike, maybe a little bit too much, going up and down hills, and I came home and went to Aldi and I went grocery shopping, and instead of putting everything in 2 big bags, I stuck it all in 1 bag. I could barely lift it, and I heard something in my lower back go pop.
Oh, God.
So that's exactly why I had to cancel some Skype meetings, and my back's a little bit better today, but oh yeah. So here it's actually not so bad. Hi. I'm doing a recording. You can come over and say hi if you want. The neighbor just came over, Al. Can you see? Oh, you can't see him.
Hi, Al. I see your hand. Hey.
Okay. I'll
Anyway.
have to talk to you about the Antarctica fires.
Yeah, we do all
Yeah.
I know your whole background. I watched the
Oh, Joanne Gifford?
I know your whole background.
Now you know my whole background. So, yeah, we're doing a recording. I'm going to end up putting this on the on my channel. So now you're going to be on my channel.
Cool.
And Arthur, I tell you what. I was like, oh no, everyone's going to see me now. He said he doesn't care.
I didn't say that.
No, he said something else, but I'm saying that.
Just went up to transport.
Oh,
Didn't do it.
oh,
They closed down
oh my gosh, why's that?
Really?
Oh my gosh, a tornado went up in Route 1 and Chad's.
Oh. Yeah, we had I think it was yesterday we had tornado warnings and flood warnings. And
Yeah, we didn't have.
Oh, that's like what?
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting out in the sunroom all day because I couldn't sit in any other chair. I had to sit in the bench in the sunroom because my back, my lower back.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You should always listen to your body because your body knows you best.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, when I'm done recording, I'll come over and talk to you about and show you some footage. This guy named Jeff Schneider, he just posted something on his latest video where it's an entire tree and the whole middle is burnt out. And the outside looks like there's nothing wrong with it at all. And I don't even know how he lifted this thing. It's huge.
Yeah, when you were talking about that, it sounds like Hindu.
Yeah,
And I had to think back some of the things that seemed like.
yeah, that's the Hindu, and that's the
I forget the name of the god.
yeah. There's a lot. Really old. I guess it's kind of like religion in a way, but it's also
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's also documentation.
And then the things that they have. I know it's true.
Yeah, yeah. You'd be surprised what's true.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it either today. I'm like, no. Besides, I couldn't get on the tractor and cut the grass if I had to. I have to give my back at least another day or two. Well, it was my coccyx at the very bottom. Somehow, no, I went bike riding, and then when I came home, I went grocery shopping and put too much groceries in one bag, could barely lift it, and I could feel it and hear it. It would pop, and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, it might have been my sciatic. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Yeah. So. All right. All right. Bye.
Hi, Al.
He walked away.
I couldn't really hear you much.
I know you can hear it. That's okay. Okay, I have some of my neighbors are real friendly. So,
Yeah.
unlike you, I don't have any fences. Anybody can walk over. I don't care.
I think you have one metal fence, but I think it's the yard behind you. It's there, so you only have like one section.
Yeah, they've got a fence because they have a dog. So, well, they had a couple, but they all died. Now I think they're down to one dog now.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh, I think they died of old age. They had them a long time.
Yeah.
So,
At least they had a good home.
oh yeah. So yeah. Where were we again?
Talking about your back and how you popped it, and I said, you always should listen to your body because your body knows best. I mean, When you feel tired, you should take a nap. When you feel aches and pains, you need to just rest, maybe for a day or two. Don't do a lot of things. Just listen to your body. I mean, a lot of things go wrong when you overwork yourself, and that's not what we're meant to do anyway.
Or play too hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, I've had so much fun with my new bicycle.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it looks really nice. It's a nice bike.
Oh, it is. It's a Kent. It's put out by Kent. It's called a Margaritaville bike. It's got a little bottle opener up. It's got a pineapple holder on it. It's yellow. It's got pineapples and flowers all over it. It's got a big fat seat on it. I need the biggest seat you got. I want to be comfortable in my butt area.
Oh yeah, that can be very uncomfortable.
Well, I took Faith because she was needing to replace her seat, and I said, "Get the big fat seat. You'll be so happy." And she goes, "No, that's for fat people." I said, "I don't care. I got the big fat seat."
Yeah, that's. Oh, I would take it too. That's nice cushion for your bum.
That's right. I gotta have a comfortable seat, man.
And your tailbone, because there's been times I've rode bikes for a while, and next thing you know, I get up and my tailbone is killing me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's the problem she had. I went bike riding with her, and after an hour, she had to walk home. And I'm like, "I told you to get that fat seat. I told you."
yeah, horrible.
It's all up here. It's all up here. But that's for fat people.
It's not just that. I'm sure it also had to do with the look. Oh, if it doesn't look a certain way, then I don't want it.
Well, yeah, so she paid the price. She paid the
Yeah,
price.
yeah. Maybe it was a lesson she needed to learn for next time.
Well, I told her, I said, "You gonna get your own bike?" And she says, "Yeah." I said, "You can get a big fat seat?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I would too.
She's only 19, but she's like, "Yeah." I mean, I don't know why they make these incredibly tiny little seats that literally there's nothing to sit on there. What are you gonna? It's literally about the wide as this, and you're gonna sit on that. No, you're not.
No, that would hurt my cheeks and everything.
Oh yeah, it'd be horrible, horrible. Well, she was dying. She said she couldn't walk for a week after that.
Listen to your body.
Yeah, so there
Oh
you
my
go.
God, that's terrible. Well, that's okay. She figured it out. Hopefully next time she'll learn the lesson.
Oh, she did. She said when she goes to buy a bike, she's gonna get a big fat seat. Well, she sat on my bike and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so comfortable." I said, "Well, I got the big fat seat, don't you know?"
Yeah, more room to move around on.
Yeah, it is so
And
much more.
at least if it's bigger, it's probably thicker too. So more
Oh, it's
it's like shock absorbent.
exactly. I need all the shock I can get.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Anyway,
we'll go back to the new words. Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to tell you what. The people that don't ascend to 5D and that will be not going too far and staying at 3D, I really hope they can think about it, and everything that they've taught in this reality is an indoctrination to get you further away from God source, which is yourself, the higher self love and love for everyone else around you and everything, not just yourself, not just humanity. The animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, the anything kingdom. So
Yeah.
once people come to the realization that love is universal,
Right.
maybe they'll their 5D. But let's talk about while in 5D into the new earth, what do you see going on there? And I'll tell you what I see. I'll let you go first.
No, go ahead. You first.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, I do see that your activations of your blood will be pretty much most of it. Most of it. So you'll have the ability to levitate. You'll have telepathic ability set in. You won't really have to use your mouth. It'll be something you want to do, not that you have to do. You'll be able to bilocate, translocate. You'll be able to
have all of your abilities open. It's just at that point, once they're open, it's just you trying to learn all of those, because you also got to think, you've been alive for a very long time. Your memory might not be quite there. So you do have to relearn a lot of these things because we're still in a physical plane. But anyway, I was going to say, like you were just explaining, you'll have all of your abilities, but you might be at 5% capacity, 10% capacity. You might know 50% of that ability. But you got to learn it so you can do better, so you can teach people, so you can do whatever you want. I mean, manifesting. You can manifest anything.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And forget eating animals. That's off the plate. That will no longer be a part of your reality.
I was just about to put in there, as long as it's on a higher vibration, because you're not going to manifest negativity because they won't have it. You'll be kicked off of that planet if you start becoming back into the 3D world and you can't go along with the love and you can't match the frequency or the vibration. You will no longer be allowed to stay there. You just wouldn't be able to. So you must also remember that you got to do things on a higher frequency, on a higher vibration, whether it's for yourself or for others or for the planet. Do it at a good vibration. Do it at a good pace. Know that what you're doing is right.
We should also tell everyone, before the wave gets, we need to start practicing seeing ourselves in the 5D, seeing ourselves in the new world, seeing ourselves on the new earth. So when the wave comes, we can match that frequency and then we'll be there because it'll be in a blink of an eye. And this is where we lose most people. This is where we lose most people.
We lose too because of, if they're stuck in the negativity or even on a lower frequency, you're not going to make it. I mean, I'm telling you, you've got to try and raise up. If you feel like you're going to get in an argument, walk away. If you feel like you're starting to pull your vibration down, walk away. Stop thinking about what you're thinking of. Try and bring yourself back up. Say, it's going to be okay. I'm going to do this. Do the best you can. I mean, that's all we can ask for. Help others. Help yourself.
Yeah. So we need to start now. Start envisioning yourself and envision yourself there, because we don't know exactly when this wave is coming, because it's going to depend on humanity to be the spark so that the wave can come from the sun. And that's that justice, righteousness, that, no, that's not right. You have it here. And when enough of us get to that pinnacle point holding justice, righteousness, that is going to ignite that wave to come in.
Yes.
And so when it does come in, it's going to come in all at once. It's going to come in and stay 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 for a duration of time. So people can get onto the bandwagon to the higher Ds and then just go. So it'll be going over months, not just a moment, months. And then when it's at the end, boom, who's ever left on 3D will be left on 3D. Everybody else will be taken off in ships, or they will have transbilocated into a higher dimensional new earth, which is there.
Right. And unfortunately, the people that are the unlucky ones that end up having to stay here, the problem is when we leave, it's going to be really hard for them, because it's going to be like we've taken all of the love, all of everything that was there to help them is going to be gone. They're going to have to realize and wake up to the fact that, what am I missing? Why do I feel like I'm empty? Where is the love at? They're going to have to wake up to the fact that they need to raise up. They need that love in their life. And they have it. They aren't, it's like they've blocked themselves from it. They've cut themselves from source, They need to open that back up. Even if you just sit for a moment and just try and feel the love frequency coming from you, bring it out as far as you can, encompass yourself in it. Just feel it. And, I mean, we're still on a physical plane. We still live moment to moment to moment. Every moment counts. And that's another thing I was
Oh,
going to say.
no.
You know, the ascension, the shift, before it comes, we need to start focusing on bringing it here now. If you are ready and you've been ready, or you're just waiting, start seeing it come now. See it in your mind. See that everything starts to change. Everything starts to feel higher. You feel lighter. Just feel the love coming in. See it coming in here now, so we can try and push this forward, so we can get this done, because the work still needs to be done, or we would be there now. We need to try and bring it to us. Just bring it to us. Sit in a calm place. Just feel it, see it happening in front of you.
We have to talk about the loved ones, because you know this, because you had this too. I don't want to leave my loved ones behind.
Right.
So we have to talk about this, about how this is going to work out when some of your family members, or even your husband, your wife, your children, your father, your mother, your relatives, your friends, or something. This is how we're going to have to look at it.
If they
Every single person will be on their own as far as this goes. You cannot stay behind for so-and-so. You cannot go ahead for so-and-so. This is done on an individual basis. Yes, some families are running on the same vibration, so they won't be too much broken apart, because they'll be put together wherever they are.
Well, I was going
There
to
are
say, you can stay, but you're literally going to be living in hell. I mean, it's already to that point now. But I'm telling you, if you choose to stay and you don't go, you're going to wish you went, because I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be a pretty picture. And even if you stay, it doesn't mean you can force anybody to do anything. You can be here in all this love and all this happiness, but everything around you would be encompassed in negativity. The being you're trying to help could be encompassed in negativity. How are you going to help somebody who can't even help themselves? That's the problem.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. Just know that we're all on our own voyage. A lot of the light workers, well, we're not even from here to begin with. We came into this. A lot of people came into this, and we'll be going back to where we came from.
And most of the people that are awake are the ones that weren't from here to begin with. I mean, there were a lot of originals that have been here, or a lot of, people or beings that have just been brought down and haven't been able to get up. But a lot of them have started raising their vibrations. It's not, the whole populace by any means, but it's happening, and you can see it starting. People are finally trying to do what they can with their rights and with movements. That's all you can do. If you don't fight for something you have now, you'll cry for it later, just like Mom said. If you don't fight for anything,
actually, that's a very old saying. That's a very old saying. Yeah.
Say what?
Yeah. I said, actually, that's a very old saying. I didn't make that up. That's a very old saying. You don't fight for what you want now, you'll cry for what you've lost later, tomorrow.
Right. Thank God people are standing up and they're fighting right now, because we've literally lost almost all of our rights. If it wasn't for the truthers and the people coming out and protesting against what's really going on, whether the media wants to tell you the truth or not,
No, they don't.
If you talk to people around the world, you know their stories, you know what's happening. Thank goodness for these people. They're finally stepping into their power. They're finally saying enough is enough. And this is what we need to do globally. It's going on everywhere. It's just we need more people to start standing up.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Campbell Purvis this morning and Colin Wilkinson. Campbell's from Autodidactic. Well, that's his channel. And I was telling him that we do need to have the push. We need to find the righteous anger to get this going. But we also need to keep an equilibrium, because it's a fine line you're walking when you're going to go and push back without creating deep negativity. So it has to be done a certain way. I mean, it's really a fine line. So some of us, like me, I'll have to stay on a certain equilibrium while this is all going to shine the light, to shine the love.
Right. It's not like you're pushing it in a negative way. You're pushing it in a positive way. Yeah,
Yes.
you might have righteous anger, but no, when it's said and done and it's over with, you need to let that go and just be in the love. Know that if you've pushed it to the point where it's changed, then great, it's over. Because then there's nothing that's going to be changed again. And if it does, then you go back out there and you change it again. Because if it's not for the people, there would be nothing. It's because of us. There is everything here. We've created all of this. Yes, we were corrupted. We've been infiltrated, and they've taken over for a very long time now. I mean, that's just prevalent. You can see it happening. You know,
Yes.
this is why we are standing up, because we are done with it. It's time to end. We're ready for a better world, a new beginning. We're ready to be happy. We're ready to have everything we could ever want in this life, because we should have been like that from the beginning. There should have never been this corruption to begin with. It got out of control. And unfortunately, a lot of people started going into it from God knows when it started. They started believing in it because that's what they were taught. You know, they never did the research because they were so trustworthy. They didn't think to question anything. Well, now we know the truth. We need to question everything.
And also that goes along with all the library burnings, the book burnings. I'm sure this started back in Egypt when, you know, Alexandria was burned down.
And that's another thing. Oh, this phone keeps falling. And I was going to say, that's another thing. You've got to think, you know, yeah, they did all the book burnings. Why? Because all that knowledge and truth was in those books that didn't fit their agenda. You've also got to think, what books are they giving you nowadays that have been written by man or have been written by corruption? You can't always believe what you see. So you need to do as much research as you can. Don't just go into one thing and say, oh, I done my research and I found one page of something that says this. No, go into multiple pages. See what everyone has to say about that one thing you're trying to find, and you discern it for yourself. That's when you need to go inside and feel what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, you'll either resonate with it or you won't.
Exactly.
Oh no, you froze for a second.
Oh,
Well, that's
I did.
you're on a phone and I'm on a phone and service.
Yeah, I'm trying to cut us off.
I think this is probably one of the better ones I've had because normally when I'm doing them, they turn out shit. I mean, I did Zoom. The last two I did was on Zoom. It turned out shit on my end. I'm doing Skype right now, and I'm very pleasantly surprised we have a really good connection here because that's usually shit half the time too. Oh my gosh, I didn't even tell you this. I forgot to tell this to Arthur also. I got up this morning with a nice little surprise from YouTube. They ended up taking down my video 24, but no strike.
Why? I was going to say, did they strike it? Because then they had no right to take it down.
No, they took it down. If they would give me a strike, I'm on 2 strikes. If they give me a strike, my channel's gone. Do you know what happens when my channel's gone? This big time medium here, this big old conduit, who do you think's using this besides the great good guys?
Well, that's the other thing. The whole thing with YouTube is the fraud. And I'm sorry, you might have to put this on Odyssey because we're talking about a lot of stuff that I don't think you could probably put this on YouTube.
Just don't mention anything about the SHOTS.
I was just about to
else.
something right now about YouTube, and I don't know if you want me to or not, but
Go ahead, because unless it's medical, they can't say it's going against the medical whatever.
well, technically I'd be going against YouTube itself as a corporation because I was going to say, you know, YouTube, the whole thing is a fraud. Point blank, they've taken our freedom of speech away. It's in our Constitution, freedom of speech. We should have the right to produce anything regardless of fact checking because their fact checking is fraudulent anyway. And
Of
that
course.
has nothing to fact checking has nothing to do with freedom of speech. You can say anything, and they have no right to do anything to you.
Well, that's true, because you can put up any kind of hate thing against any other race, and that doesn't get deleted. But the second you talk about the trying to annihilate or actually produce genocide on humanity, well, then you're taken down. Or anything across the face, well, then because actually my video 24 was on the masks. It was about the detrimental benefits of masks. So at that point, it was about that. So
And
that's why they on video 24.
So a lot of their fact checking, you can turn around and say, well, I'm fact checking you now too. Where's your proof at? And I want legitimate proof, not just something that you decided to say. They can't even provide proof for anything. You want to talk about the CV, ID, 19, whatever? Guess what? Where's your proof? Physical. There is none. You can say anything about anything. Unless you have that physical proof, you can't do anything, regardless of the fact that they're already going against our freedom of speech.
Did you ever question or start to wonder why they're doing that now when we're at the precipice point to have this big wave come in to break up humanity into the fact of the negativity part of it? Because they're trying to connect you to the hive mind and lower your frequency. So if this nanotech goes around your blood cells and it holds you down in frequency, they're hoping that you can't go anywhere, because it'll keep you in a negative manner, because you have to raise positivity in order to go. Well, that's if you just blink out in the eye and go to 5D. They'll still have the ships coming, and even if you can get that, if you have that stuff in you from that, as long as you are alive to get to the ship, that can all be reversed. You can be put back to ground zero like a computer, because these are biological bodies. But they're also a form of tech. They're biological tech, and they can be rebooted back to start. You know how if a computer got a virus, you could just take the computer and go back to its original settings?
Yeah. And
that's what can happen here too.
Right. And this is another thing I was going to mention since you brought that up. You know, even if you did get that, it doesn't matter. It does, but it doesn't matter, because at the same time, if you're a real being and you have real consciousness, yes, that technology is going to try and bring you down in any kind of way, form, shape, size. It doesn't matter. They're going to try and keep you on a low vibration. But they don't realize that our consciousness is stronger than AI technology could ever be. We are our own gods. We are all powerful, whether we know it or not. We have to go inside of ourselves and say, look, yeah, this body might be malfunctioning, but I am still here. I am still going to stay up here, even if this body is constantly trying to drag me down with it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you also have to fight that negativity, because if you're one of those people and you get angry easily, or, you know, you lose your temper, or you're very emotional, you can easily be, you know, prone into going down further and further and further. And this is what they're hoping for. Not just because of the technology is taking you over, but they don't want anyone to go anywhere. They want complete and utter control, even though they're trying to annihilate the entire populace.
Yes. Yes. There was a program I gave you this morning about that one doctor. I think I might post it on this. It's a couple hours long, and he's a doctor, and he's not any ordinary doctor. He's a scientist doctor. So he's doing all kinds of tests and things, and he goes into, I mean, I think it's the best one I've ever seen. So I might post that in this description box. It is several hours long, but it is worth watching. I mean, he breaks the nuts and bolts of everything down. You'll have to get past some of his terminology in the beginning, because if you're coming in as a layman, you might not know these terms, but there is a woman who is interviewing him, and she helped break it down for the layman, because you know, you and I speak layman's terms. Anybody can understand it, but
Right.
when you're in a certain field, you go up and beyond that because you're dealing with specifics, so you're out of layman's terms.
Yeah, exactly. So it might be a little bit more boring for some people in the beginning. So if you feel like you can't get through the very beginning, just skip about 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes if you have to, just so you can get to the raw information and what's going on, because
I
it's
mean,
real raw
yeah,
information.
yeah. Now, I don't know if they can strike my video because I posted that in my link, but we'll find out. I
No,
mean,
because it's not just because you post someone else's link, it doesn't have anything to do with you. And it's not being put on YouTube. It's being put on it's through Odyssey. So when you're going into it, YouTube has no right to strike you because they're not watching it on YouTube. They're watching it on another platform at that point.
actually, I'm going to put this on YouTube, because if I put it on YouTube, it'll automatically switch over to Odyssey because they have some kind of a linking thing. So I don't have to do anything. It just does it. So it'll, even if I lose my video.
That's what I'm saying. You can put the link in the description under YouTube, but because that link is going to Odyssey, I think it's going to Odyssey, right? Or is it going to another site?
It'll be going to YouTube and Odyssey, because Odyssey will copy everything.
Mom, I'm not talking about this video. I'm talking about the video that you're linking in the description.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the video I'm talking about. They can't strike you on that because first off, it's not your video, and you're not posting it on YouTube itself to watch. You're posting it under the description link so someone can go and view it in another platform.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, because it's not, I think it is on, isn't it on Odyssey? I think it is on Odyssey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on Odyssey.
And if anybody wants to find my Odyssey channel, it's in my About section. So I do have an Odyssey channel in case I get my third strike.
Actually,
I'm just gone. Find me on Odyssey.
I was going to say, and I'm talking to the people who are watching your videos, you really should go ahead and start going to other platforms, because I'm telling you what, YouTube is one of the worst platforms you can go to. Yeah, it's great and it's convenient and it's easy because you have every creator there, except you don't anymore. A lot of creators have been either banned from there or strike to the point where they had to leave their channel, or they had to go to other channels because of the fact that you cannot get raw information on YouTube anymore. It just doesn't happen. You can get pieces and bits of information, but that is not enough to solve the whole puzzle. You need to go on these platforms with these other creators, because not only are you showing your support, but you're also showing that you want a change. You want to do something about this. And you're showing that you have it in you to try and raise up, get what you need to get so you know the facts,
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I mean, knowledge is everything. Knowledge is the key. Knowledge is power. And unfortunately, I don't mean power as in, overpowered, or power as in a horrible power, a negative power, but power for yourself, power for your vessel, power for anything that you think you need to know, If you didn't know about this because of the people, spreading this information, you probably would already went out and got it. You'd been in the fear. This is why people need to get the information out there so we can stop this from happening.
Yeah. Everyone needs to put the big bag of fear and every low vibration out of their reality. I would love to see almost all, and I'm not going to say all because the darkest of the dark, that's a fantasy. That's never happening. But I would love to see a lot more beings make this shift. I mean,
I do, because my heart goes out for the ones that really don't make it, because I feel so much passion for them, and I feel so sad that I have to leave anybody behind, because I'm telling you what, nobody should be in this state, in their own state, to be this low. Everybody now with the information out there should be awake, and I'm going to tell you, you're lucky if there's 35 to 40% of this population awake. I mean, it's terrible. We need to start doing something. And like I said, it's unfortunate because you can't force these people to do anything. They are having to do it on an individual basis. The only thing you can do is try and push them towards look, why don't you watch this video? Look, why don't you research this? Or here, I've researched it for you. Look into this. You know, I mean, don't just say, well, you're a sheep and, you know, you're never going to listen. You're never going to wake up. Well, don't get upset at them because maybe they're just really incapable of waking up right now because they've been so indoctrinated into this system. We've all been so indoctrinated, you know? I mean, all the way down to our beliefs, to the point where we really don't even know why we believe in what we believe in until we start questioning it.
I know. Look at all of our rituals every year. Easter, Christmas,
Yeah. And you can even say,
Valentine's Day, St.
Yep.
Patty's Day.
they're rituals, they're traditions, they're just, why do we do all that? I mean, in my mind, when we get together, I do it because I want to be with my family. I want to be with the people I care about. I want to be with the people I love, you know, and I want to enjoy their company. But people don't think like that all the time. They think, oh, look, it's Christmas time. What are you going to give me? You know, or I don't know. I mean, it's just
all about buy and sell, buy and sell.
and then
The Babylonian money system, the Babylonian cursed money system.
yeah. And then you've got other people that are like, oh, it's just another, it's just a religious holiday. You know, it's like, well, yeah, it is. But at the same time, what is religion really? I mean, it's just another belief system. Do you really believe in everything you were told?
Some people don't even think about it. Some people believe it. I call them Bible thumpers. They'll thump that Bible to the every single word. The problem is that a lot, it's been corrupted, taken from here, and here. A lot of stuff has been left out and smashed together to make an agenda.
And that's why I said earlier when I talked about when you talked about the books being burned, I said you can't just believe anything you read too, because a lot of this stuff has been man-made. Yeah, there might be key points or key facts, but you know, a lot of stuff is based off of science, and science, you can't prove science most of the time. The truth is in our energy, our vibration, our frequency. You can't see that half the time. Yeah, sometimes you can. You might be able to see your aura. You know, you get dreams, you get visions, you get, you know, all these abilities awakening. How can you prove that you've gotten these things? You can't prove it. You can tell what you've seen or what you know, but there's no proof there. I mean, you can't always rely on something physical.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to put my umbrella down. Am I getting dark? Give me a second. Let me put my umbrella down. Yeah, I just, you can see me again.
Yeah.
I know I was getting a bit dark there. The sun comes right over here and it's like blaring in my face and I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm actually surprised it's still pretty bright behind me because I'm in the shade right now.
I'm in the shade too. That's why another reason, because the sun is just starting to go down over the treetop.
Yeah.
So
It's really nice out. I'm going to tell you, it feels like we've been in 5D all day today. The skies have been.
oh my gosh, hasn't it?
Oh, you just cut out. Mom, are you there?
Okay, you
Okay.
back?
Back now. Oh, you cut completely out on my end. It completely froze.
I know. I have to really reel it in with my emotions because I'll cut this phone off every time. I'm trying to remain calm.
As you did that, I felt it right here. And I'm like, I felt like a connection that just got cut. I'm like, and then you froze. It was weird. It was like at the same exact time it happened. I'm like, uh-oh. What happened?
Yeah, because when I move energy around with my hands, and I've been informed that I need to keep my hands on my lap.
Well, I'm trying to make sure I move away from the phone because I know if I get too close, sometimes my energy does the same thing and it just cuts the connection right off. It's terrible.
Yeah, Yeah,
Any-
I'm really bad about. Let me move back a little bit.
I said today felt like we were in 5D because it's been clear all day, no chemtrails. It's been beautiful and blue skies, and it's been warm, and I just feel like I'm on this high vibration today.
I felt it all day. I felt like nostalgia. Like today was the 70s again, like the early 70s. It's like, whoo, what's that going on? It
Yeah,
was nice. I
I
had
mean,
like a high mood today. It's like, wow, I feel great today.
yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, I feel like it is in the 70s too, and I never was living in the 70s, but I feel the energy from it.
Yeah. What's up with the 70s? What is with this work? We keep reverting back to the 70s. Something in the 70s. Wasn't that the love truth movement or something? So I keep feeling that energy again.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
Oh, Jasmine, what's wrong, baby? Oh, Jasmine's getting sick.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought I heard someone meowing or something, and then she started walking over here, but I think she's throwing up. Are you okay? Jasmine, come here, baby. Oh no, I hope she didn't get into any kind of poison or anything. Hold on, Mom.
Ah, first I disappeared and now she's disappearing. So we'll wait. Poor kitty cat. She was my cat. The reason we got Jasmine to begin with is because I wanted her. So there was a lady, and she had just had a bunch of kittens from her female cat. And I had gone over there and I saw the kittens, and I was like, I want that one. She's all calico and beautiful. But of course, I couldn't take anybody I loved with me. That's another thing. When we go to the 5D, you can envision everything and anything you want to go with you. And if it meets the vibration, it will go with you. So you don't want to leave your animals behind? Envision them. You don't want to leave your tree behind? Envision it. Take it with you. Because believe it or not, you'll have the ability to do it then and there. When you're transitioning into the higher D, you can take anything and everything with you. Just envision it. And I guess that's a big one, because I've had a lot of people say, well, what about my animals? It's like, take them with you. Don't leave them behind. Why would you? Although a lot of them will transition on their own. So think about, I want to be envisioning that every vegetation, every wild animal, every bird, sea life, when I go, I'm going to envision all of that going with me, because I don't want to leave anything here in 3D, because 3D is pretty damn low, and I don't want that to happen. So when we leave and this ends, this will be a virtual hell on earth. Everything will be going. Nothing much will be staying. So the ones that don't make it and the ones that are so low, this will be their virtual hell. And I wouldn't want to leave anything of high vibration behind. I'll bring all of it with me. And so all of you imagine it too. Imagine everything going with you. And what matches the vibration will go. It's as simple as that. I'm so ready. I'm sure a lot of us that came into this, we are ready for this to be coming to a point where we can go forward and not just live in this perpetual limbo land. Because I feel like we're in limbo right now. We're waiting for more people to wake up. We're crossing our fingers that they wake up. I know a lot of us won't be waking up. The ones that won't wake up, of course, they'll still be collected. If they're on the higher frequency, they'll probably be put into some kind of stasis state or something, because they'll be freaking out and panicky, and they can't even handle what's going on in this reality. How are they going to handle that their entire reality is a lie and a fabrication? It's not going to really work out real well. So they're going to have to be in kind of like anesthesia. They'll be the walking zombie people, where they'll be aware of what's going on, but they'll be like subdued in their mind a little bit. because we don't need panicking, crazy people. It's going to be hard enough when it comes. That we don't need to complicate it by people that are out of control because they're losing their shit. The psychoticness of it all, I guess. Don't go psychotic. So,
Oh,
oh, you're back.
Yeah, I had to grab a water and pee real quick and check on the cat and grab a snack.
You realize we're recording, right?
Oh,
Okay, what is that? TMI? Too much information? Guys, out of the toilet over there.
it's natural. At least I didn't use it outside.
Oh my. I tell you what, the one thing I'm really looking forward to is the ability to levitate. Not to have to use a car. I've already thought about it too, because I will make a toroidal field around me, so if we do have rain or anything, that I won't get wet while I'm levitating, and I'll make it big enough that I can bring company.
Oh, yeah. How about manifesting myself to levitate?
Manifest those abilities open. I manifest to know how to do everything.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. To me, I think manifestation is probably the most important ability you can have, because at that point, you can create from nothing anything.
Yeah, creating from nothing to create everything, because everything is energy. Even if we can't perceive the energy, it's still energy.
Exactly.
And all you're doing is your mind shaping the energy into a form. And then you'll have to learn how to stabilize it. Because just because you can do it for a moment doesn't mean you can stabilize it.
That's true. And depending on the dimension you're in, you mean stabilize, like physically have it there and stay physically there?
I mean, you can manifest something, it can be here, and it'll just disappear again because you didn't stabilize it.
Well, I was going to also say you can also bring it in on multiple dimensions, but it doesn't mean it's showing up in yours because it didn't physically come in.
We did that with crystals, didn't we? Where we
Yeah.
created crystals, but they were on a higher frequency dimension. So they're there, but they're not here.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I planted crystals all over the snow globe so I could throw my energy into them. I think I need to revamp them. So if you want to go ahead and create crystals in your mind, bury them deep, halfway up, halfway down. I made mine a mile big. I made them a mile across. And my energy goes in there, and because I really want the transition to happen, and I want to take as many as possible with us.
Yeah.
I really don't want to behind, but
don't think I won't manifest crystal caves, because I would.
oh yeah. How about crystal cities?
Oh, crystal cities, crystal caves. And don't get me wrong, I would still I would definitely manifest some of the old, you know how the old world here from the Antiquitech buildings. Oh, I would be manifesting some beautiful Antiquitech buildings.
Oh, I love the terraces on them. I just have this affinity for the old houses with the terraces on them, and
yeah,
I think gorgeous, just gorgeous. I've always had an affinity for them.
I love the arches, the arcs that they have around. You know, they have them like this, and they can go around the whole building, or you can bring them outwards, and you can make a path. You know, and like in my one dream I had years and years ago, it was like a beautiful, almost like a castle-looking kind of building. It was like Antiquitech, and it was really cool, but it was really weird at the same time, because it was beautiful on the outside and there was nature everywhere, and there was this very small, it almost looked like, you know how you have fountains and you can have like you can put a hole, like dig a hole, and you can put water in it, and you know it almost looks like a fountain, but it was kind of like, it wasn't very big, it was kind of small, but big enough where you could go into it. And it was weird because in my dream, and I don't think it was a dream, I feel like this was something that happened, but I had actually jumped in the water, and it was like this rectangle, and I jumped in and I swam all the way down, and it was like I started to swim all the way down, and then you can go all the way back up. And when I started going all the way up, it was very deep, and it ended up becoming this huge pool. And I ended up coming up out of the water, and I ended up inside of the Antiquitech Castle building, and it
Wow.
was all opened and big and beautiful and arches, and there was marble floor, and it was just wonderful. And the pool was enormous, but it led from the outside into the inside,
Wow.
and it was just beautiful. I would manifest that.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I had a really weird dream. And this was years ago, but I remember it because it was a dream that wasn't a dream again. And it was like a memory. And
Yeah.
I dreamed I was out in the yard. I don't know what yard I was in, but a ship came, like a sailing ship, a wooden sailing ship. And it came down, and it was sailing in the air. And
Wow.
it had a little plank that came out, and they opened up the little rope door, and I was invited to come in. And so I did. I went into the ship, and it was Samuel Clemens telling me, come on in, come on in. We're collecting people like you. And it's like, oh, really? Why? So I went on there, and I saw all kinds of people throughout history. And it's like, wow, why are you inviting me? Because this was years ago when I had this dream. And I was thinking, I don't know why I'm here. I don't think I belong here. So this dream was probably about 20 years ago. It's been a while. And when I think about it today, I'm like, oh, this is why you invited me on here. Because I might not have done anything in my past to warrant this, but I am today in my future.
Yeah, because the dream I had, that was about 12, 13 years ago when I had that dream, probably a little bit longer than that. It was weird, but it was so cool. And I'm going to tell you, it was all surrounded by nature. And it was like we were living in nature, even though there was these beautiful buildings. And they weren't like buildings. They were like the Antiquitech castles. And, and it was made for indoor, outdoor. And it was so cool. And you can live there, and there was people living there. And it's not like you owned anything. And you know how they try to say nowadays, oh, you own nothing and be happy. Well, it wasn't like that. It's like we all shared everything that was there. It's like it was like we lived together and we did what we wanted. And it was a complete free world.
There will be no government. There will be no idols. None.
Exactly.
No government, no idols. And at that point, there's no worshiping. There's no paying to exist. All that will be abolished. Which that will be control of the cabal, the AI, and whoever else is involved with that, quite a few. So that will be the cutting of that chain, because that was chaining us. Leg chains, arm chains, neck chains, and a muzzle, because that's what we have now. They're all invisible, but they're there.
Well, that's why I always go back to the whole belief system thing, because I'm going to tell you, just from my remembrances and my past lives and what I remember, I never had a negative life like I do here. And I don't mean it's just negative. I mean, it's good and bad, but it's more bad than good most of the time. And I'm going to tell you, in these lives I've lived, there was never negativity. It just didn't exist.
Yeah.
And it's like, we really need to get back to being a pure consciousness being, because we're completely just love. I mean, that's what we are. We are love. I think our energy is literally made out of the love frequency.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even when I can recall some of my stuff in my past realities, I didn't have the negativity until I came here. And it's like, ooh.
I just, from being in Source, because I remember being in Source, there was no such thing. I was so naive, because I had no idea there was any such thing as negativity ever. I only knew happiness and contentment and love. Yeah. And you were surrounded in it. In Source, it just was. It was like warm, water, but it was like love was protruding out of it, in it. The whole thing was like that. And it's like, you were floating around in there. You were energy. You didn't have a body. All you were was pure consciousness and pure love. And when I remember, I had nobody around me. There was nobody. I didn't even know if there was even other beings. I don't even think I thought about it. That's
Yeah,
how
and you were
it is.
completely contented even though you were all alone. And
Yeah.
contented. There
Yeah.
was none of the physical stuff. There was nothing, but yet there was complete contentment.
Exactly. And
I remember that.
it's
And
crazy.
because I remember that,
Yeah.
I think
I remember that
another
too.
reason why.
And it was, they always talk about light and dark. Well, no offense, but Source is pitch black, okay? Source, yes, it has light that comes from it. It's like it's lit up. You can see everything in it. It's very deep, but it's dark. It's black. There's no stars. There's no nothing. It's like
Yeah.
literally swimming in very warm water with this loving frequency all around you. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I don't think I knew if there was even beings or no beings or anything. I had no idea.
Oh, your
Dang.
phone keeps calling.
Terrible.
We might be cutting these short. Yeah, we might be. Well, this is not short. We're at 1 hour, 11 minutes. We're going to probably have to cut this and do another Skype meeting.
I mean, it is what it is. Whatever you want to do. I didn't know it was. Oh, well, I didn't know it was that late
Yeah,
already.
it's almost 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it is almost 5 o'clock.
So
Wow, I don't know what's going on.
I'll stop recording, but we'll keep talking.
Yeah, that's fine. I was going
All
to say,
right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's cut this. All right, bye. And I'm
Have a
cutting.
great